I'm Bob Ryan. This is Globe 10.0 with you today, Christopher Gasper. Well, Chris, Brad Marchand is about $150,000 poorer than he was before the Vancouver game started last Saturday. And, of course, the buzz around the league precedes him. I think it had a lot to do with the adjudication that Brendan Shanahan had. Okay, the question is, all right, is he or isn't he dirty? Is he just chippy? What is he?
I don't think he's dirty. I think he's a borderline guy. I think he's one of those guys, you know, he's on your team, you say you love him. He's on the other team. He's an agitator, and there's always guys like that in hockey. But I think, here's my thing, Bob. He's become too talented and too skilled a player, 16 goals, 16 assists this year, for him to be doing this. He has to exercise better judgment than he did in that Vancouver game with Sammy Salo. That was an unnecessary play, and he deserved the suspension. However, I don't think he's a dirty player.
No, it's his third year in the league, and he's but he has the reputation, and that he's at the very least chippy, and
Sure.
he's a you're right, agitator, we've had them. Everybody's had them. We have to go back. Pi McKenzie was exactly that kind of player, and he really reminds a lot of people of him, and probably a better, more depth finisher. So the question is, can he find the balance? Do you think, from what we've observed of him, is he intelligent enough to get it, to understand where he can calibrate this, to be edgy but not be dirty?
Yeah, I think he can. I think here's the problem for him now, Bob. The problem is that he's developed a reputation. So if it's even borderline, it's sort of going to go against him. And once you develop that reputation, it becomes an issue and you start picking up penalties. I think what's hard for him is he's evolved as a player. And when he first came into the league, you know, he was like a fourth or third line guy, and he had to play this way. You know, he had to be an agitator to the other team. Now he's on arguably what is their, you know, it's second line, first line, whatever you want to call it. That Bergeron, Sagan, Marchand line is their best line, and they need him out there.
Does he need to be this way to be effective? Totally, and I'm not sure that he does. But then again, I'm not a bored, you know, dyed-in-the-wool DNA hockey guy. I see goals that he scores that are the result of great hockey skill that transcend being this, you know, jabby little guy that, and then, you know, starting little incidents. I mean, that goal he scored that before the game, early in the game was
tremendous.
The goal, remember the great goal he scored in the playoffs last year, going right to left. Yeah. I mean, that was took your breath away. If you can do that, then you're a better player than just a guy who's hanging around being a little agitator. Correct?
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's what his problem has been, is sort of realizing, again, this is how he got to the league, was being that agitator. It's how he got in the lineup, and now I think he needs to dial that back just a little bit. It's always going to be a part of his game. It's part of what makes him tick. He can't wipe it out. But dial it back a little bit, because you are too valuable to your team to be missing 5 games with plays like that.
So the summation is, we think he's chippy, the rest of the world thinks he's dirty, and we know better.